All right, good evening. We are all set for the live broadcast stream of today's public hearing meeting at 7 p.m. on HPA-TV, Comcast, and Frontier Government Channels 96 and 6032. It would also be streamed via hpa-tv.org, the HPA-TV Facebook page, and HPA-TV's Roku TV, Apple TV, and Amazon TV apps. It would also be rebroadcast and made available on the HPA TV YouTube channel. So today we'll be speaking on, so let me introduce the folks that are here with me. Today we have council colleague, councilperson Jimmy Sanchez and councilperson Marilyn Rossetti. And the other Nick LeBron in the tile is the very talented Lydia Colon, who will be taking the notes for this evening. So we do have 3 speakers set for today, and we'll announce them when the time comes for their speaking order. So today we have 2 items on the agenda, which is 2.1, Mayor Broning with a company resolution authorizing the city of Hartford to enter into a purchase and sales agreement along with a 10-year tax fixing agreement pursuant to CGS section 12-65B with the National Development Council, and item 2.2 with the company resolution authorizing the city of Hartford to enter into a purchase and sales agreement with the Gateway Partnership LLC. So I'll just be reading a few rules for our public hearing. So public hearing shall be conducted in accordance with the following procedures. Each person wishing to address the council or committee thereof shall, upon recognition by the presiding officer, give his or her name, address, and if he or she represents a group, shall in addition state for the record the name and address of said group or organization, shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes. All remarks shall be addressed to the council as a body and not to any member thereof. Any person making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks, or who becomes boisterous while addressing the council, shall be forthwith barred by the presiding officer from further audience at said meeting unless permission to remain is granted by a 2/3 vote of the council members present and voting. During the public hearing, there shall be no debate by the council, although questions may be asked by council of persons making such presentations. Right, so the first person on the speaking order is Mr. Fernando Bentoncourt. If you can just state your name, address, organization, affiliation. Mr. Bentoncourt, and then just say what item you're speaking on. The floor is yours.
Good evening, honorable council members and members of the public. My name is Fernando Betancourt. I'm the executive director for the San Juan Center. I'm speaking on the item pertaining the Arrowhead proposed development. And I will be very brief just to express how excited I am. Tonight, I'm speaking on behalf of the Gateway LLC, Partnership LLC, which is comprised of the Caravetta companies and the San Juan Center. The San Juan Center has been in this community for over 60 years, and it's a local community, and the Caravetta companies have many, many decades of experience in construction and management and development. So we are very grateful to the city for giving us the opportunity to partner, and sincerely, after we applied and was designated as the preferred developer, this has developed into a real partnership with the city, a public-private partnership. And we already have some success, some of which is the DCD grant that you already know about, which allow us to expand the footprint of this development. For us, for the San Juan Center, it's very important that the people from this community have a voice, and we consulted all along the way before applying for the proposal to the city with organizations like the NRC and many other community activists and residents. that was very important to us. We participated on surveys that the community had the opportunity to respond to. And what we are proposing in our vision is almost like a two perfect bookends. One, the one that is going on, known as Downtown Crossing, and ours on the other corner. And what we believe this is perfect, it's like a connector, if you will, for the disconnected downtown, downtown and the north of Hartford, connecting with Albany Avenue and Main Street. I am very excited of this opportunity that will not only respond to the market that needs more rental for that particular area, but also because it's a mixed development that will allow the creation of other positions of jobs with the more than 7,000 square footage of business that we intend to develop. So again, it's just to answer any questions you might have, but I'm very excited for this opportunity. I think that we're ready to go as soon as possible. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Betancourt, and I'd like to acknowledge Councilman Mictum. Thank you for joining us today, this evening. And also, Councilman Mictum, thank you for covering me last month. I appreciate you. Seeing no questions from my council colleagues, we'll move on to Ms. Denise Bailey, and I think she's also with B. Powell. So are you guys both going to be using the 5 minutes, or do you need 5 minutes each?
No,
No.
okay. I'll be speaking on behalf.
Okay. All right, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, council members and all those assembled. My name is Denise Bailey, and I live at 18 Piney Street, Hartford, Connecticut, and I'm here representing the Clay Arsenal Revitalization Association, also known as CARA. I'm here in support of the proposal given by the Gateway LLC in partnership with the CARA Beta and the San Juan Center. And we appreciate the fact that they included us on this proposal and response to this request, simply because we would like to see this particular enterprise in this good and long-standing neighborhood. We want to see it come to pass in our time. We are very encouraged and we appreciate the partnership that they have allowed to develop throughout the proceedings of this plan to create economic opportunities as well as residential ownership and occupancy for the Clay Arsenal neighborhood. They have assembled a good development team, and it's equally strong in the neighborhood representation along with the planning team, and it is slated for success. And we look forward to working with them in collaboration and in anticipation and the confidence that we have in the efficacy of the outcome of this project. The Clay Arsenal neighborhood, it should connect economically to the downtown and the North Hartford neighborhood, and we have been neglected and left out of the table for the conversation. And this particular project provides a voice and a seat, and we're happy to support it all the way to the end. And even once the project is complete, to successfully support it afterwards. Thank you so much.
We can't hear you, Nick.
Sorry. Thank you, Ms. Bailey, and thank you, Ms. Powell, for your always concerted efforts and dedication to the neighborhood. The council colleagues, any questions for Ms. Bailey? No? Oh, yes, Councilwoman Rossetti.
Through you, Mr. Chair. I want to commend, certainly Mr. Betancourt, but I want to commend the residents. I know, I see Ms. Bailey, Ms. Powell. I know how frustrating it is at times and things drag on, and you know what? I always say slow and steady wins the race, but I also want to thank you for continuing to believe in the city, believe in your neighborhood, and it really doesn't go unnoticed, and we appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to our next speaker. We have Miss Alyssa Peterson. The floor is yours, Miss Peterson.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Alyssa Peterson, 297 Grandview Terrace. I'm speaking on the Albany and Woodland item. Last week, I was invited to attend an informative meeting at the North End YMCA. It was hosted by neighborhood activist Sherry Frazier and featured both Brian Matthews and I. Charles Matthews of Hartford's Development Services Department. The DDS presentation about projects going on in the North End was particularly excellent. In fact, this agenda item at Albany and Woodland was featured. I had not understood that Rohan Freeman was removed as project developer. The elder Mr. Matthews indicated the city is contracting with another developer instead. According to your agenda item, that developer is now National Development Council, or NDC. Mr. Matthews also stated that the city's Health and Human Services Department, as well as its WIC department, would be relocating to Albany and Woodland from Coventry Street and Main and Park Streets. In fact, he was asked twice to affirm WIC offices were moving from the Park Street or Main Street location. First, I don't believe in the principle of robbing Peter to pay Paul. That is, you're moving the WIC location from the Park Street area to help pay for the Albany Avenue leases. I'm also uncomfortable with the extremely vague language about the city possibly getting the new building back for a nominal fee after 10 years. That language must be much more clearly spelled out before any vote is contemplated. Second, the proposed resolution indicates this council will authorize a 10-year tax abatement plan, plus add $270,000 in unnecessary lease payments yearly. The city is supposed to be reducing its leased spaces in buildings like Constitution Plaza. Now it's leaving a publicly owned building at Coventry Street to help to cover development costs elsewhere. That means the city could be on the hook for almost $3 million in new spending when I maintain this council must get its executive head on straight and immediately begin acting in an intensified oversight manner regarding potentially serious, expensive liabilities ahead. Decisions previously made by Mayor Bronin and Corporation Counsel Rivkin have resulted in 3 lost appellate or Supreme Court cases in 6 months' time. The city's had to pay out over $2 million on both the Farmington Avenue zoning case and the police lieutenant's case when they could have been settled more cheaply. And now we have both the baseball stadium and Dillon Stadium cases looming before us. Judgments or settlements in these cases could total as much as $80 or $90 million. So please, put your executive oversight hats on and look into this Albany and Woodland deal more precisely. What are we getting for almost $3 million in new spending when you really need to be conducting a special OMB meeting about giant potential liabilities that have now appeared on the horizon? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Peterson. Any questions from my council colleagues? Okay, seeing none, thank you, Ms. Peterson, for your dedication to our community and to our city, and your constant involvement in speaking at our public hearing meetings. We appreciate it.
Thank
With
you.
that being said, no problem. With that being said, seeing no Lydia, I don't think we have any more speakers. So we will be adjourning this meeting on August 15th. Thank you very much. Everyone have a good evening.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.